Hey guys, welcome back to Single Chef. I'm Matt Skollar. I'm your classic single guy with the classic single guy fridge and ingredients. The difference is I know how to use these items simply and quickly to create a tasty meal you can't mess up. Now, it's so good that even a woman will be impressed. But if you can't take my word for it, you can't not take our lovely Lily's word for it, right, Lily?
That's right, Matt. I'm going to try that food and tell it like it is.
That's right, baby.
So what are you going to cook tonight?
Well, I'm going to do something that I've never done before.
Awesome.
I'm going to cook chicken in an orange tarragon sauce. That's the part I've never really tried before, but I think I'll be able to nail it. I'm also going to do a little Zatarain's Spanish rice and two different kind of plantains, one that's soft plantain and sweet, and one that's a little saltier and harder. And that's what we're doing tonight.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Are you down with the plantains, the whole like Cuban sort of feel?
Plantains, I know they're a side dish, but I eat them as a main dish.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
You rock out some plantains, cool.
I'm a plantain eating professional.
Cool. Where like, is there a place down here? Obviously, you're a Southern California girl. You're from LA. Where would you go down here to go check out some plantains and stuff?
There's actually a great Cuban restaurant, Versailles. It's a small chain. There's a couple in West LA. I think there's one in the Valley.
Okay.
Great plantains. I mean, they have great like garlic chicken, rice, beans, but
Yum, yum.
their plantains are nice and juicy.
Cool.
And
well,
delicious.
I'm really hungry tonight. No joke. I don't know about you. Are you hungry?
Starving.
All right, so we got to get the show on the road because we have limited amount of time here, guys. So, as always, I'll be choosing from my 10 single chef ingredients, and let me just run down that list for you real quick. We've got soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce. I've got ketchup. Every single guy's got ketchup in his fridge. I've got some canola oil. I've got hot sauce, mayonnaise. I got mustard, salt and pepper, of course, a little garlic powder, and of course our Ringer 1,000-gallon dressing. We haven't used this in a while, but I think we're going to use this tonight.
Awesome.
Plus what I shopped for today. Again, guys, I keep it real inexpensive. And what I got today is I got, a package of chicken thighs. I have noticed I have a stain on my shirt too. I got a stain. I didn't shop for that. That's just me. And I've got some orange juice. That's going to be for our sauce. I've got some Zatarain's rice. So, guys, like I'm going to show you how to. I mean, if you've never cooked like from a rice package, rice-a-roni or Zatarain's, it's really easy. We've got the plantains, a little bit of tarragon here, some butter. So let's get this show on the road real quick. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some. I have some kosher salt here. I'm just going to pour a little bit of that over our chicken. I'm going to put a little black pepper. Crush that up. Oh, and guys, if you're just joining us for the first time or if you've been here before, you may know that, we take questions live. Lily's got her computer set up right over there, so if you have any questions, shoot them her way. She'll ask me, and we'll try to answer them as best we can for you all. Okay?
Yes.
Cool. So I've got my salt and pepper on my chicken. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some oil, and I'm going to coat a saucepan, and we're going to throw this chicken in, and we're going to sear it. A nice, healthy portion of oil there, and I'm going to take these individually and I'm going to put them down skin first so that skin cooks up real nice.
Matt, one of our viewers,
Yeah.
I don't want to mention any names,
Okay.
wants to know where that stain is from.
Oh my goodness. If I knew, I'd tell you. It's probably from lunch.
Come on, you have to have a better story than that.
Okay, well, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'll tell you something that my dad told me once. He's like, Sonny boy, I love you. You're my boy and I love you, but God bless you, are a slob. He goes, I mean, I could just looking at your shirt, I can tell what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I think this was actually a coffee stain. And, as a classic single guy, I just didn't clean it. It's still there, so forgive me, but hey, you know what I mean? We're going to keep the show rolling, but good question, Anonymous. Let me just shake that pan up a little bit and make sure all those chicken thighs are cooking evenly.
We have a real question now.
Excellent.
About the food, and our favorite viewer, Frank is back.
Who is that, Frank?
Frank.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
And he wants to know if it's healthier not to have skin on the chicken.
It is. It is. This dish calls for a little bit of fat, because that's going to go into the sauce and it's going to congeal and cook down. I don't always cook with the skin on the chicken, but for today we are cooking with the skin on the chicken, and yeah, I mean there's some fat in there, so This is not single healthy chef. It's just a single chef. But it'll be really good. Trust me. Let me just wash my hands because I just touched that chicken. Thanks, Frank. You're always welcome to ask questions, buddy. So, like I said, I've never cooked this before. This sauce. I actually, I'll be honest with you. I saw this on a cooking show that I was watching on the Food Network, and I saw these guys breaking down this kind of sauce, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try that, and I'm just going to, make it real simple, real quick, and I'm sure it's going to be tasty. And again, real quickly, like what I'm going to do here is the chicken's cooking. Once the chicken comes out, I'm going to put it in the oven and finish it for about 15 minutes. And I'm just going to add some of this orange juice here. I got some sprigs of tarragon. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there, and I'm just going to cook that down and reduce it, and that's going to go over our whole dish. Meanwhile, I have to get some of this rice going, so let me open up this box of Zatarain's rice. And let's put that here. And the way I do this is the way my mom taught me. It's not exactly the way the directions are, but what I do is I put some oil in the pot, and then I throw my rice in, and it's already got the herbs and everything seasoning, and I get it a little crunchy, and then I pour my water over it. So here we go.
We have another question.
Cool.
From our viewer, Happy Jessie 18.
Happy Jessie.
And she wants to know, what do you mean by finishing the chicken, and why don't you just cook it all the way in the pan?
Sometimes, you can cook the dish all the way through in the pan if you want. For this dish, it allows me to take the chicken out and use those juices that have cooked down off the skin and everything to make the sauce. So we're going to have our chicken, make sure our chicken's cooked thoroughly by finishing in the oven. I could cook the whole thing in there, but for this recipe, I need to take the chicken out, let it cook in the oven, and then I'll use that juice that's in there for the sauce.
Great.
Yeah. And I'm just turning up the heat on that so it gets a little hotter.
And we have another question.
Oh, cool.
From El Maslin, but it's from two people, Jim and Laura.
Wow, this is our first couples question. Cool.
Wants to know, where's the chicken from, and where is your shirt from?
The chicken's from the store, and the shirt's from the store too, not the same store. No, I mean the chicken I bought at Ralph's today. It's where I shopped because I have my little Ralph's card, get a little discount. And this shirt, I somehow don't even know where it's from. I think I inherited it from a friend somewhere down the road in life. It's a little tight. I don't mean to be rocking this is not the Jersey Shore. I'm not like the Project or whatever that guy's name is, the Scene or whatever, the Situation. I just happen to be pretty jacked and I'm filling this thing out. No, I'm just kidding. It's a little tight. I usually don't go this tight. But thanks for asking. All right, so I got my rice. I'm going to show Maddie here on camera. I got my rice. That's been in oil for about a minute now. It's ready for some water, and we're going to put some water on that. Twice the amount of water as rice is what I do. So there we go. I put twice the amount of water as rice, and now I'm going to put that on high heat still. I'm going to let that boil and cover it, and then once it's really nice and boiling, I'm going to turn down the heat to a simmer and let that cook and let all the water condense, and the rice will be done. Okay, so next question, sorry. What's the next question? Keep them coming, guys. I'm going to flip that chicken because that skin's probably nice and brown now, hopefully, if I'm doing this right.
And we do have another question.
Let's hear it. Actually, I'm going to let that cook for another minute or two. What's the question, guys?
All right, so this is from Zoe Grace 11.
Okay.
She's back.
Hey, Zoe.
Can you use white meat if you are not partial to dark meat?
If you're not partial to dark meat, can you use all white meat? Is that the question?
Can you use all white meat?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Use white meat. If you don't like dark meat, just make sure that you either go to your butcher and ask for all white meat chicken. I like a mix because dark meat has a little more flavor, a little more fat to it. But if you don't like dark meat, absolutely. You can do this with chicken breast too. I'm using chicken thighs because they cook quicker, and I only have a certain amount of time here on Single Chef. So, but absolutely, you could use all white meat. I'm going to take a little bit of garlic powder here, and I'm going to season the chicken with that, just with a little pinch here, to give it a little extra flavor. Okay, and now I'm going to flip our chicken So we cook the other side.
Matt, do you have to, if you choose to use white meat instead of dark meat, do you have to adjust the cooking time at all?
Well, dark meat has a little more fat, so I think dark meat would actually cook maybe a little bit quicker. Or actually, no, reverse. I think white meat would cook a little quicker because it doesn't have as much fat to cook down, so the meat would cook quicker. I actually don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. But just experiment at home. Take a piece of dark meat, take a piece of white meat, see which one cooks quicker. Don't know. Sorry. I was trying to like act like I know, but in my head I was like, dude, you don't know. So just tell them you don't know, and I don't. But good question. I feel like every week here on Single Chef, like people don't like. I love the questions, but they like half of them stump me. I'm just stumped. I feel like I'm on a quiz show and I just suck at the show. That's just how I feel. Every night I go home like, dude, I had a fun time doing the show, but boy, did I half those questions I couldn't answer. I just feel a little insecure about it.
Like tongs?
Yeah, like tongs. Someone asked me, where do tongs come from? I was going, I don't know, China? But I didn't want to sound like racist. But they do. They probably do. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. So our chicken is cooking. The fat is cooking out of the chicken thighs, and that's going to mix in with, that's going to create our sauce. So in just like a minute or two, I'm going to throw those into the oven to finish them, and then I'm going to cook the orange tarragon sauce. Oh, wow, I got to cook plantains, I forgot. Okay, I've got a sweet plantain and I've got a non-ripened plantain, so there is a different texture and consistency to each of them. I'm going to cook a little bit of both. The first thing is you just want to cut into them, and I'm just going to peel the skin off the plantain here. This is the unripened plantain, and it tastes, at the end of the day, it tastes more of like a potato-y type of flavor with a little more sweetness to it. And then I have my sweet plantain. So I'm just going to cut these about an inch thick. And I just called my mom before. My mom is from Panama. And growing up, Panamanian food, not that that's all we ate, but she would cook a lot of plantains. And they just add a real nice flavor to a meal, whether it's sweet or the salty kind. So I called her up before just to double check to make sure how she cooks them, and she gave me a little schoolage. So Mom, if you're watching, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. And guys, if you've never cooked a plantain, it's nothing to be afraid of. It goes really great with rice, or if you're doing rice and beans and a plantain, it's just fantastic. And it's a nice accompaniment to a meat dish, whether it be steak or chicken. So I want to do something a little different today, so that's why I'm going to delve into my roots a little bit here. So I'm just going to cut these, like I said, about an inch thick here, and then I'll show you what to do. We're going to coat our pan with our canola oil, and I've already got the heat on there, so it's going to cook nice. And I'm going to do this on camera here. Just going to pop those in. You don't want the oil to be too hot, so if you're using an electric oven, if it's like you want to make sure it's like halfway medium, otherwise these things will burn. And if you're using like flame, just medium flame. And we're going to cook one side, flip them, and then cook the other. Okay, so got my sweet and my salty ones down, and I say salty because I'm going to salt those myself because they require salt. And I'm put these on the flame here, or the oven. Okay, my rice is boiling right now, so once you put your rice and double your water, bring it to a boil. It can be boiling for a couple minutes, that's fine. Then we'll simmer that. Well, we'll turn it on a lower flame, and then that's going to simmer down. Simmer down now.
Matt, El Maslin wants to know why not use olive oil.
You know what? That's a great question. We've had this conversation here a few times. I was once told by a reliable source that olive oil loses its. If you cook on a high flame or high heat with olive oil, what tends to happen is it'll get to it burns so quickly that instead of it being actually healthy, it actually burns and becomes sort of toxic. And it doesn't mean you're going to die if you cook with olive oil, but over a period of time, it's not good for you. Because Matt, our director's like, so what do you mean? If you do that once, you're going to die? You're going to die? Huh? That's how Matt talks. What, I'm going to die? I'm like, nah, bro, relax. You're not going to die. But just, it's better as a finishing oil. So I cook with an oil that can handle more heat. I mean, I cook with canola oil a lot. You know, grapeseed oil is great too because that's a high heat oil. And then I'll finish it with some olive oil because the flavor of olive oil is great. You just don't want to cook it on too high a heat. So great question. Okay, I really got to get going with this chicken because I don't have much time. I got about 10 minutes. So I preheated this oven here to about 400 degrees. I'm going to pop our chicken thighs in there, let them finish in there, and then I'm going to cook our orange tarragon sauce. So I'm going to do a quick flip. Just make sure that the skin is really nice and brown before I put it in there. So 1 more minute.
We have a few more questions if you have a minute.
I have a minute.
Natalie Wilson wants to know who taught you how to cook because you seem so confident.
Well, it's a great question, Natalie. Like I mentioned my mom earlier. When I was a kid, you know, I always loved food, so I would just trail her around in the kitchen and just ask her a question. Like, Mom, what's that? What's that? What are you doing there? And then we were having a dinner party once. I remember this, and I said, "Hey, Mom, do you mind if I cook the dinner for our guests?" And she said, "As long as you don't have a stain on your shirt, you can do it." Anyway, no one, no, okay. No, so I cooked my first meal for people, and I just had a thrill out of it. It was really cool. And ever since I've gotten older and been on my own, I just experiment with stuff, and just and always enjoyed it. Put on some music, have a glass of wine, have a beer. So that's how I learned to cook. Good question, Natalie. Thanks for asking. Okay, let me check on these plantains. Okay, I'm gonna turn those over in just 1 minute, and now I'm gonna put my chicken in here and start our sauce. Okay, so let me just show you on camera real quick here, Matthew, our director, that's what I keep referring to. There's our chicken. We're gonna put that in the oven and finish that right now.
Matt,
Yes,
Maria
ma'am.
Elena wants to know if the plantain is ripe or is it green?
Well, that's a good question. I'm actually using both kinds today. I'm using the sweet, the ripened one, and I'm also using the green kind. So we have two different kinds, two different varieties. And basically you cook them the same way. You put them in the oil for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Then we're gonna crush them and finish them. I'll show you that real quick. Okay. So let me start on this sauce. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about a 1/3 stick of butter to the already oil that's in there, just to give it a little bit thickness and a little bit of flavor. So that's going to melt down. I'm going to take these sprigs of tarragon here in a second. First I'm going to put a little OJ in there as well. And we're going to let that cook down and get a little thicker. And we're going to pour that on top of the chicken when it's done. Open. All right. Live TV, baby. Sometimes they make something like, have you ever bought a pair of headphones at a store? They're wrapped in that plastic, impossible to get out. All right, not really a cooking subject, but I just want to let you know. It really annoys me, man. All righty then. So I got my butter, you feel the butter, you can see that. I'm gonna pour a nice portion of this OJ in there. Maybe like, this is about, how many ounces? Yeah, it doesn't say. All right. 13.5 fluid ounces. I poured about 7.3 fluid ounces in there. And I'm going to let that absorb that chicken flavor, that chicken fat, the butter. And then I'm going to pour a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put some of this tarragon in there right now. So I'm just going to cut that up. And this has got like a licorice-y type of flavor, but mixed with everything else, it gives it a nice finish. So we'll just put some of that on there. And we'll let that cook. I'm going to flip these plantains now. See, they're nice and golden brown. If I can flip them, there we go. Oh, this is going to come out just fine. Well, those are a little burnt, maybe not so fine. So I'm learning right now that the sweet plantains cook a little bit quicker than the other plantains. Never went to chef school. I never went to chef school, so you never have to go to chef school. We're going to take the easy route our whole lives. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they are a little dark, but that's okay. That'll be fine if you like really well-cooked plantains. All right, so we'll let those cook a little bit here. Our sauce is looking yummy yum. What else do I need to add to that? I got the tarragon, I got the this, I got the that. I'll put a little more salt in there. just for some flavor. Again, there's no rhyme or rhythm to this. It's however you feel. I'm feeling like a little more salt, a little more garlic powder in there. All right. So our chicken is finishing off. Our sauce is cooking down. Our rice is simmering, and our plantains are burning.
And we've got questions in the chat room.
Please, please, bring them on.
We have one from actually one of our viewers on Ustream.
Oh, great.
Signed Snobs in Brentwood.
Snobs in Brentwood.
Why do you use garlic salt rather than fresh crushed garlic? Salt has problems associated with it, and fresh just tastes better.
Did he say garlic salt?
Yes.
I'm not using garlic salt. This is just garlic powder. Snobs. Just kidding. Snobs, dude. You don't have to live up to your name. No, I'm just kidding. But I would use fresh garlic powder and fresh garlic. I have used it many times before on the show. This is one of my staple 10 single chef ingredients, so I just used that tonight. But you absolutely can use fresh garlic, chop that up and put that in the sauce if you want. So great question. Appreciate it. Keep watching. All right, so I'm going to take a taste test of this sauce and hope to God it tastes good. That's not bad. A little more OJ. Tiny bit more OJ. It's pretty good.
It smells really good.
Well, we're going to try and get that as hot as possible to cook that down a little bit more. Now I'm going to show you a trick what we do with the plantains. This is what Mama told me to do before. So we've got both sides fairly well cooked. Now we're just going to take them and we're going to crush them a little bit. And this is how they do it in the restaurant, so you see them all flattened out. And I'll just pour them out here. And I'm just going to pound those real quick. And then we'll finish them in the pan, and then we'll be almost ready to go here, guys. So just flatten them out like that. Just show you on camera, like that. These are the sweet ones. The sweet ones are a little more darker than the not sweet ones. Okay.
A little more darker, eh?
A little more darker. I don't get it. Why is that so funny? What did I say? Why does everybody got such a dirty mind here? Come on now.
It's a grammatically correct mind. Really.
All right, so I'm going to pop these back in. We'll finish those. We'll check our chicken. And yeah, just going to do it like this. Just renegade style. Just need to get them back in the pan. All right. Okay, our rice is almost done. And our sauce is cooking down. I'm going to finish these plantains and we'll be good to go here in about 2 minutes. Okay, guys?
Great.
Let me just check that rice real quick. Let me show you what's going on with the rice. That rice is pretty much done. So I'm going to take it off the fire and just let it sit here for a minute. And then our plantains will be done here in a second. Let me check the chicken. Okay, chicken's looking good. So, Lily, I'm going to grab plates. Are there any more questions?
We have a couple more if you have
Okay,
time.
yeah, we have time.
Here, I'll give you one more.
Great.
Mohawk Court 588
Mohawk Court 588?
Yeah.
I like that name.
wants to know, I don't know, girl or boy, I'm just going to assume he
Okay.
is allergic to OJ, so can he substitute pineapple juice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're allergic to something, obviously you're not going to cook with it. Wouldn't serve you it. So if there's a replacement that you want that's similar in flavor and texture, like pineapple juice is to be a little sweeter, try it. If it's good, let us know. We'll try it next time. But good question, Mohawk Court 578.
All right. That's it.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to take our chicken out. And we're going to eat this stuff here in just a second. Oh, yeah. That chicken's nice and done. I'm just going to put some on a plate here. Put center here. We're going to do a little fancy plating tonight. Not really. I'm just going to fake it. Fake it till you make it. Okay, so we got 3 going on here. We'll put the rest back there for now. Put a little bit of rice. See, if I was really going to do this nice, I'd like put the rice there and then the chicken on top. Let's try that. See what that looks like. Put the chicken on top.
So good.
I can't get my tongs to untong. All right, here we go. Do it like that. Oh yeah, this is coming out just like I dreamt about last night. You ever see Top Chef? This looks way better than their dishes. All right, almost there. A little bit more. Okay, so we got that in the rice. That's looking great. Put some plantains on there.
Great. Can I come eat now?
You can eat. Come on over, Lil.
All right.
Come on over, girl. It's gonna be really hot. We're gonna let that cool.
All right.
But I'm gonna put a sweet and a salty plantain.
We need some silverware.
Yeah, we do. I have some back there. So guys, I try to make stuff quick. I know it's gonna taste good because I already sampled a little bit of everything. And this is really easy to do. And you can impress a lady or a friend or a guy friend. Have a little, let's put the sauce on there. Hold on.
Okay. Sauce.
Let me show you guys on camera real quick how this sauce is sort of reduced now. And it's got a really nice color to it. Rice. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top of the chicken. So we have like a little gravy action going on.
Wow, this is so pretty.
Isn't it? Some nice colors in there.
This is the prettiest meal that you've made.
It's about time I made a pretty meal. And guys, just remember, if all else fails, you can always pull out that box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. All right, let's eat, shall we?
Yeah.
Great.
There you go.
Okay. Start with a little rice under there.
I'm just gonna cut right in.
Go. Very nice flavor. But don't take my word for it.
Take my word for it.
Alrighty then.
Is that done?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay. Gonna eat the rice.
Make sure your chicken's cooked.
The rice is really good.
Delish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for joining us again on The Single Chef. I'm Matt Skollar. This is Lily. We'll see you next week. Make sure you learn how to cook because we don't want to be single forever. Peace.
I'm afraid of the chicken.